MakingStarWars.net.
Hi, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, where it's only 12:45 on the West Coast. What a night! And these sleepy bitches are my friends. No, hi, James and Max, who are not on the West Coast, so they are up way later, way more dedicated than me. I'd be like, oh, that shit could just wait until tomorrow. No, I'm kidding.
It's almost 3:00.
But I mean, but look at what James sleeps in. I mean, that's the best part of this is we get to see like that James really is the Hugh Hefner of Star Wars. People don't know that.
Yeah.
Where's your pipe?
But you're gonna learn that. See,
Yes.
you're gonna learn that.
Yeah. Oh,
So, yeah, I mean, well, like, I went and I took a picture. I had an idea while watching the show, and I'm like, if I take a picture of the cast, it's an order, and then we can just kind of go down a little map through the show, and I think that makes sense. And then, but before we do that, really quickly, I wanted to hit on what our buddy Jedi Chris says. He says, love the show. Today was the weakest of the bunch. Can't wait for next week's though. So I will say, I don't know if I would. It's like an apples and not even apples and oranges. It's just this is that episode because it has to be. Like it's not like you just keeps getting better. Like it doesn't really work that way. Like these, and I think Chris knows, but it's like this one is the one before they go to the battle.
to the bathroom.
So what I'm trying to say is for that one before they go to the battle, it was pretty fucking good. Like it managed to get tension in. You thought they might kill each other before they even get on the mission, like and stuff like that. And boy, my pet theory that the lady at the rebel camp was Mon Mothma's daughter. No, Mon Mothma's daughter, just some little bitch. At the end of the day, she's just some little bitch, some little fucking asshole. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, she has a Twitter account. She hates my guts. I know that much. But yeah, she just. I was just like Mon Mothma. I get it though. Mon Mothma just needs to beat the shit out of her whole family. That's what I say. Yeah. Lobo says the Clem before the storm. I think Mon Mothma needs to go up to that kid, punch her in the throat, and go, Clem, bitch. Now what? You know what I mean? But so we started this one with my favorite thing ever because it had to have been on purpose. Cyril eating cereal. Come on, right? That wasn't on accident, was it?
It was milk.
No.
I gagged.
He seemed pretty pissed about it.
Yeah, it was clearly a metaphor for his own inner angst.
God, he's like so fucking depressed. Like, God, snap out of it, bitch.
Yeah.
So you lost your damn job.
Well, you do see that like his mom is a bit overbearing, but at the same time, I actually going to say that I'm going to be a little bit critical of the episode in that sense that we hear she was an asshole, but they don't show us that she was an asshole.
They show her
so far,
asshole.
she's not. Oh, did they show her brown pie? Oh, okay. No, but they like
with the bounty picker upper.
She doesn't seem like super bad. She doesn't seem like join the Nazi regime bad at this point.
She seems a little bit like an alien, also.
You know who she reminds me of, especially with like the whole like outfit and the hairstyle. Could you do a split screen with her and who's the female doctor from Planet of the Apes? What's her name? Zaya or whatever.
I know.
I know.
Yeah. Do a split screen of those two. They're wearing the same. They're rocking the same hairstyle and the same outfit.
But she also looks like the bounty picker upper lady.
Yeah, it's like a hybrid.
Wasn't it weird to hear a Star Wars character sort of reference pop culture in a way when she's like, I'm gonna call in a favor to the family. Like the way that she said it was like it was almost like she was referencing The Godfather, but she wasn't. It was like they have The Godfather in the Star Wars galaxy in some way. It exists.
It's Uncle what?
So,
Uncle Haha?
yeah, I can't remember what his name was. It was like
With the I don't know. Yeah.
Uncle Tizo, something like that. But I don't know what it was. But yeah, no, but she like literally like there's like a pop culture reference like into Star Wars' pop culture by her in the show, which was, I don't know, it was weird. It didn't break it. I was just like, huh, okay. But so now I want them to do like what they did with Toy Story, how they made like the movie that Andy goes to watch as a movie. Now I want them to actually do the Star Wars Godfather, and then it to be the movie that they watch in Star Wars that we see. I think it's time. I think
Jason, you've not been paying attention. They already did that. It's called
was it called?
Boba Fett.
Oh, okay. Because see, I said Godfather. You're talking like Blood In, Blood Out, because that was like a Blood In, Blood Out quality production. I'm talking like Godfather, like a good production.
Not the child High School Musical version of it.
Oh man, but yeah. Old Edie Carn. I mean, you can see how she's pretty fucking annoying. Like, as your mom. Like, I could see it, but right now, what I'm saying is like they're insinuating that he sat there on the phone and she tore him down, and he just like heard the whole call about what a fucking loser he is. Sort of like it is, and I gotta say, I wish we had seen it though. That's kind of like my actual like solid critique on that part is if we're gonna see why this dude is a weasel or maybe he rebels. Maybe at the end of the day, he doesn't do the wrong thing and he does the right thing. Maybe he realizes the whole system's fucking broken and bad and he doesn't want any part. I mean, this could go either way,
I mean, his depression's lasting like a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's understandable. I think you have to assume that he potentially has some connection with the people that died under his command.
Oh, who cares?
So he's probably, but at the same time, it's when you see him looking at that hologram, you assume that it's misplaced anger. So rather than being pissed at himself and saying I'm a dumbass and I got these people killed, it's all that fucking Cassian's fault. It's not my dumbass that led people into stupid shit that put our whole planet under subjugation. No, it's this one guy. It's his fault. Yeah.
And it's also important to remember that earlier on he was like, this guy took pride in his job. He was getting his actual security outfit like custom tailored so it fit him even like more perfect because he wanted to be the most perfect thing. And so in the end, he fucked it all up. He got fired, and then now the Empire rules the planet. And I wasn't expecting to see even that little brief glimpse of Ferrix, but I kind of like that they were like, "Hey, remember Ferrix?" a little bit, and kind of showed us a little bit going on there. For a second, I was like, "Wait, is this the planet that we're on?" This is all looking the same for like 1 second until they like clarified that. But yeah, then we go back to the if I forgot anything, just interrupt me. But then we go back to the camp.
Hey.
And Cassian's drinking titty milk. That's no good.
Was he?
It was like drinking like goat milk, but like that goat definitely had titties. just not those big ones that Luke Skywalker likes, with the green milk in it.
Yeah, the goat wasn't staring him in the eye, going.
Yeah. They name dropped a bunch of planets at one point too, and brought up Jakku and stuff, which was just neat.
Hosnian Prime.
Hosnian Prime, Mon Mothma's future home that she'll get blown up.
And something else. Starts with the C.
Jakku was in there. Yeah. They need to just get the story group out the fucking writer's room. Because I don't need that. I mean, it's like, oh, we need a planet. Go ask Pablo. Like, what? Just fucking make one up. It's not relevant to the storyline. It's just like they have to drop shit in there. Like to me, it just gets distracting and annoying.
Like Forest?
Yes.
Like Forest.
Oh,
I don't know. I mean, yes and no. I mean, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing. Because if it was like, oh no, there's interruptions on Zip Zlap, then we would be like, you're fucking kidding me, dude. You could have just said Fondor, dog. You know what I mean? Though, like it's Yeah. But
I mean, maybe they work it back in at some point, but at Jakku, I mean, that would be like mentioning the most shittiest town in like all of Nebraska. It's like,
that's what
what's the
Deidre says.
odds that comes up in Hosnian Prime and
It's
Jakku in the
too
same
random to be random.
Oh, yeah, exactly. They kind of need to take their own advice in that one.
Yeah, I know. I was laughing at that line. I was like, these people are fucking crazy. Like, but that is what that sort of fascist environment would breed. Yeah, is it's just they're out there everywhere. The insurgencies everywhere, and but we'll kind of like get into like the backstories really quickly, which kind of jumps ahead a little bit, but we learn we had so early on we have Andor, and he tells I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy with the chest tattoos, that basically he was in like juvenile hall kind of situation, like a prison, like juvenile hall kind of thing, and probably went. I think the way I took it was either he was talking about the stuff that landed him on the mud planet later on, or it was some sort of detention thing, because he does get charged with insurgency, right?
Yeah,
when he's like 13.
The guy that snatched the
tattoo guy, yeah.
I don't like him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's this fucking part, man. What did he say? I can't remember what he said. It sounded like he said, oh yeah, he said crate head. And I had to rewind it because I thought he said, it's like, which is all great head. They don't know. I was like, oh, this guy gets great head and they don't know? They've been out there the whole time. I'm sure they would have appreciated that. But he said crate head, not great head.
I think you're
like
projecting on that one.
Hey, I mean, he looks like he would suck a prison dick, like pretty good. He looks like in prison he'd be like, they call him the cob. Why call him the cob? Because he eats the corn off the cob. That's what they'd say about that guy. Because he does.
He's definitely a bottom bitch. I mean, there's no doubt.
Oh yeah, he'd go to town.
He's right there with Tim.
But we learned that Tim's fucking big, dude. Tim, don't even try to go toe to toe with.
Yeah, you know my theory about that. He didn't get shit. He just sat there and watched her sleep.
We decided that actually Tim just had a really big dick. That was like his whole thing. Like he had nothing else going for him, but he had like Chewbacca dick, big red Chewbacca dick.
No, he had small penis complex. I mean, he's getting all jealous about Andor. I mean, if you got a big dick, why you got to be worried about it?
I don't know, man. I saw her drinking in a bar with them, but anyways, she goes, but anyways, something at the beginning of the episode that happens is Andor tells him about his past. And then at the end, it sort of feels left field, but it's only if you don't take into account that at the beginning, Andor tells him about his past. So Vel makes him go and tell him about his origin story, if you will, like for the group. And that's that yet the Empire flooded the pepper trees on his brother's farm, and his brother filled his pockets with rocks and killed himself after they fucking took his land or whatever. So it's actually a pretty good sort of wraparound of the character arcs and the relationship of the two characters. But I honestly didn't feel like it was super bold. I could be wrong, it might be because of the late hour, but I think a lot of people are going to miss that and feel like, why the fuck are they doing that? It's because that's how it kind of started. At least that was sort of my take on the whole thing. And the montage stuff with the troopers and like them marching and stuff, it wasn't overly boring and it was convincing enough. I feel like we got like do you guys feel like we had like a good vibe for they're not just going in there freeballing it like Han Solo, like they actually practiced, like but we didn't have to like watch 6 weeks of episodes about Star Wars drill camp, which would have been very boring.
Well, this was I mean, I think they did really well with this, and because I can see where the first comment that you had right out the gate there is, it's kind of slow and boring, a lot of setup. The next episode is going to pay off so much because of that. And they're using the TV format very well for that. Yeah, in a movie you just got to get straight to it. There's no this build up tension. They did that awesomely for as long of an episode as this was to hold that tension up. And yeah, that'd pay off in spades when the actual mission goes down, because you kind of know the dynamic of the group that's going in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe
Right.
because I was
Awesome.
tired. I was a little bored at the end.
Were you? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll
So
be honest.
sometimes on this show, that can happen late at night when you kind of get to the like. But we also got like the backstory of Gorn as well.
Mhm.
So like when you
Mhm.
get down to it, we actually like this one episode sort of gave us a ton of backstory to the, like, I mean, we know that Mon Mothma's got a little bitch ass daughter, who's a little fucking punk, just fucking getting in her face, being a fucking little dick, fucking wants more time on her fucking Nintendo Switch. You know what? Then fucking use the time I put on there and fucking play that until it's 8 o'clock. Then you have to do your homework and go to bed. And she's not doing it. I can just tell. I just know that. I know how she is. Oh, sorry, that's my problems. But
Give her a
no, but
spanking.
no, but we have like Mon Mothma's backstory pretty filled in now. Daughters fucking just like thinking like, what is all this shit? Mom makes it all about her, but mom's like, I'm making this about the galaxy. This is doing more important shit than your bitch ass knows about, but you're too fucking stupid to keep up with me and my cool ass short hair. She looks pretty hot, but she's got short hair. Gotta give her some credit. And then, but then we get Gorn, who falls in love with what's one of the natives, goes a little fucking, I don't know, dances with wolves style, fucking falls in love, but then they fucking kill her, and now she's like, oh, now he's like, I'm rebelling. I'm gonna kill you guys. Then that guy who could suck dick real good, his fucking brother killed himself because they took his farm. He's got the prison tats. And then Andor, we learned, sort of was in some sort of juvenile hall sort of situation. And then
Mhm.
but also he kept that fucking chip on his shoulder. I like that the chip on the shoulder that Andor has doesn't just go away. Like in Star Wars shows, like everybody's an ice cube and then they just melt with the love of friendship. Like pretty close.
Is it a
does
corn
not-
chip or a potato
Yeah.
chip? Or a chocolate
fucking
chip?
chocolate chip. It's gonna get all shitty looking on your hand, and people are gonna think, "Would you not know how to wipe your ass?" You're like, "No, I just ate a chocolate chip cookie and didn't notice." Yeah, whatever,
You use that
bro.
excuse too.
Yeah, you need to buy 2-ply, homie. That's what they say to you. I bought donuts at 7-Eleven for the kids, and they were like chocolate like bars, and I fucking was like entering in my pin on the ATM. And I realized I had the chocolate shit all over me. And I'm like looking at it, and the guy behind me is looking at me like what's wrong with you? And I was like, whatever. Meg says 15 million an episode to watch people talk way too much and drink alien milk. That's called Star Wars, Meg. That's called Star Wars. Big old
Hey,
titty
Meg.
milk. Hey, Jason, Max, and Rob. Hi, Meg.
It's Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
Meg, tomorrow afternoon, Meg, if you're free, tell me and I'll send you the invite. You could come hang out if you want, or whenever you want. Just let me know when you're free. I'll send you the invite.
Hey, Jedi Mike. Say hi.
And don't listen to Edie Karn. An open invite from me is an open invite on like Edie Karn, who's just a bitch. Okay, so don't believe what she says. That her Edie Karn's fucking truths are bullshit. Yeah, but anyways, so when we get to the rebel camp, we also sort of get the other backstory that we get is the revolutionary kid. I found it convincing though. Like that could have been like Star Wars Rebels, like we fight for freedom and honor, and you're just like, shut the fuck up. Like, that kind of when you see like the cartoon versions of that stuff, it makes me really, really mad. But because it's just so fucking candy ass. But I felt like this kid was about to pretty much go full Karl Marx on the galaxy if they would let him. If they didn't shut him up, he would have started getting into the means of production at any time. And he was like, Cassian, you're a proletariat. You're my fucking audience, bro. Like, it's pretty much what he told him. But it's kind of cool because in that sort of sense, we may kind of get that sort of character filled in when I say Karl Marx, I mean it, in the broadest sense, but he's sort of writing, you know what I mean? I'm not saying necessarily communist, but but like a revolutionary doctrine.
So
And we've never seen somebody in the Rebel Alliance who actually has any kind of like where the doctrine comes from. That's
so what you're
never
saying,
actually
right?
really
So what you're saying is tonight you're coming out as pro-communist. Is that what
big O pinko. Uh-huh. A
Wow.
stinko pinko. I'm telling you, it's not a stinko, guys. It's chocolate chip.
I have a question. Did anyone
The
see
answer
Melee?
is no.
Did
No.
anyone see Melee Run?
No, I actually was there one?
I believe
Probably.
so.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was
On,
Wait.
what's his name?
Cereals,
Crybaby, the Crybaby guy.
cereal.
Yeah, Serial guy. Like there was
Oh, did you see the hole in it?
the hole in what?
Yeah, in the Mellow.
No, I saw like little
He's fucking it.
points.
He's
Like
fucking
warm
it.
up
Oh
pie.
no.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
dragon fruit? It looked like Melee Run to me. God, you guys stop.
The episode shows that we need Luthen in this show. It could have been condensed down to the last 15 minutes. If this wasn't Star Wars, I would have zero interest in this kind of episode this was.
Okay, so then I wasn't
Mhm.
the only one. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you and Meg,
I need to
feel that
rewatch
way.
it. I need
I'm
to
gonna say,
rewatch
but
it.
I feel like this was the one that informs all of the reasons
Mhm.
that we're gonna care about next week.
Yep.
I think without all of these little things being filled in, next week has zero consequence.
So then next week
Yeah.
I'll go.
But I could be
"Oh,
wrong.
Now I understand.
Next week might drop the ball. Next week might just be, they might have nothing to do with anything. But I have to feel I have to think if they give us the backstories, either those people are going to die or they're gonna flourish. One or the other, though. It's like
Okay.
either like these people's stories matter or it's like, and I still think Kenobi is pretty good. Yeah, I said that the first half of the Kenobi episodes, and look what happened. Hey, I still like Kenobi. I still watch Kenobi, so I'm
I started
living.
watching a little bit last
I'm
night.
living that Kenobi life. You are too, Max. You still Kenobi when you can.
Yeah. Yesterday. I haven't watched them like I normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Like more than once.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I saying? Like several times. I think this is like the second or third time that I watched it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I
third. Third.
But I feel like I don't know. I'm not to get too sidetracked, but I feel like the fifth and sixth Kenobi ones actually did really pay off for the most part. I think that stuff did, but and then Mon Mothma's husband, they clearly like they hate each other. She says,
Do you think they're gonna
that-
get divorced?
that-
Do you think he's gonna die?
No.
It's like I want to say she's gonna start fucking her Pilates instructor, but he is the Pilates instructor, so I don't really know where you go from here. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene was fucking like two dudes, so I guess she's gonna go fuck the tantric guy from the gym.
Fuck her.
Well, she was also fucking the country, so
She's gross.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like he's going to end up leaning into the Imperial stuff, and I think she's gonna put some poison in his cereal carns, and he's gonna eat it and die.
Mon Mothma?
But I hope it's tragic though. I hope like she makes it for him, but then the daughter comes up and goes, "Dad's cereal," and then starts eating it, and then she dies too.
It's gonna be like the pie from The Help.
Yeah, and then Val comes and she's like, I'll be your daughter. And she's like, I'm into this kind of role play. And she's like, me too. Maybe. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's on Pornhub a lot. Like you can't, it doesn't even matter if that's really what's happening. They'll make that the title. Then it's not even what happens, but it's the title. So anyways.
You know, Mon Mothma is like my new Padme. I think
Mon Mothma is.
She's very chic. I want to wear
Yeah,
what
she
she's
doesn't
wearing.
fuck around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think their daughter's name is Lydia.
Something like that.
Lydia.
It's an L name.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's a character named Bronte Carmichael playing. I think if that is the right character. But it says Mon Mothma, Perrin Firtha, and then Lydia, like all together. So I'm assuming that is the daughter.
Such a
And
white chick name. You know she likes pumpkin spice lattes. You know.
yeah, for sure.
Lita?
Yeah.
Leida.
Lita.
Lida.
Lita. I think it's Lita.
Yeah.
Like Lita Ford.
She doesn't get a last name because they didn't want to decide if her name is Lyda Mothma or Lyda Firtha. They were like, fuck it, you know what? Let's just not fucking deal with this bullshit. But I also have to say Vel Sartha. I mean, I guess they just all have shit Star Wars names. I mean, Lyda's kind of a good Star Wars name, but Mon Mothma, Perrin Firtha, and Vel Sartha are all shitty Star Wars names. Oh, thank you, Garth.
Yeah.
Garth says Andor is okay. By the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene looks like Vince Neil from Motley Crue, and I can dig a trans, but not one that looks like Vince.
In her defense, she can sing better than Vince Neil.
Yeah, she was pretty good on American Idol. Yeah, that is.
Oh,
like
God,
I said, I wish I could super chat you for that comment. Thank you, Garth. But anyways, so there's like a ton of backstory in this one.
Yeah.
There really is. There's probably actually more backstory for the new characters or whatever than we've got in any of the show so far.
Right. And
it is a question though if it will pay off. Meg sounds cynical about it. I think it will though. I think that when they're going into a mission where people are going to die, and if you don't know anything about them whatsoever, then they don't mean anything. It becomes a Wade. When Wade died, we laugh at Wade because we don't give a fuck about Wade. All we know is that Wade was banging the cute chick from that comedy where the adults pretend to be 8th graders. That's all I know about Wade. And she's cute and everything. So I'm like, hey, good job, Wade. I mean, but I don't doesn't make me feel more sorry for you. I'm a very jealous person. And I'm like, goodbye, Wade. I'm glad you're dead. But no, I mean, it's like it probably is going to give consequences. Is what I'm trying to say. Is what I'm hoping for anyways.
Well, and honestly, we could take bets on who's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there would be a general consensus.
I know who's going to die.
Who's going to die?
Cassian Andor.
No. He's going to live forever. He's going to live forever.
He dies. Spoiler.
And he dies.
Everybody dies. Even Tim.
It's Team.
No, it's Tim. Tim. There's 2 M's.
Yeah. I still don't really like. We got Karis, Tamarin, Lieutenant Gorn, which is also a video game in VR called Gorn. I was thinking about when I see it. And so I don't really know who everybody is. We have the girl who's already sharing her blanket. What the fuck is that? Who speaks like that?
What does that mean though? That she's
fucking. She's getting down.
That's
she's fucking
very not,
bumping. She's fucking. Good. Yeah. I think I don't know who she's fucking. She's fucking Vel because it kind of seemed like she might have been fucking Vel. I don't know though.
Like a girl, right?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it seemed like but I thought that, but might have just been that they were going on the mission together. So like that's why they were together. But he's like, she's already sharing her blanket, and I'm like,
and he's like, he's like, she's already sharing her blanket.
Yeah. I mean, because I think it's safe to say that the guy who's writing the Marxist guy, I don't think he's doing it. I don't think he's getting anything going on. Honestly, I think he's just writing that.
Has. I mean,
I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't think it's happening for him yet. I mean, once
politics like that,
why is there so much
the models? They're not getting laid.
Yeah, no, not until they gets to the campus. That's when maybe his chance.
There's a lot of sex in this.
And
Sexual
then
innuendos.
so it's like, so we got the dark skinned guy who had the gun on Andor from behind. Is like, come on, man, don't do it. So he could be sharing the blanket. The guy with the tattoos could be sharing the blanket, or Vel. And honestly, I think Vel's the most likely candidate. I think Vel's doing it, and hats off to you, Vel.
A lot of
hats
sheep
off.
on that farm. I don't know. I mean,
oh, you think maybe she's a goat fucker, a space goat fucker?
hey, different strokes,
Gilroy,
man. I don't know.
Gilroy's like, this is pretty much like how it goes, guys. You start fucking goats after a while. Jason is pretty harsh on young gals and calling them whores. I'm calling them whore. What? Who did I call a whore? I call everybody a whore. They're all whores. Even, I mean, at the beginning, I had the guy from prison. Fucking, they called him corn on the cob. Everybody's a whore as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So, all right. Then, when we later on we get to the Imperial complex, no stormtroopers. I thought we might see a stormtrooper in this one. I think I shit the bed on Star Wars Santa's guessing shit poll thing again, but I liked how he kind of Gorn sort of manipulated them into asking to put themselves in the right place at the right time. Like those guys were like, "Oh, sir, permission to speak freely." And he's like, "All right, you sons of bitches, I guess." And he's like, when he walked away, he was pretty happy about it.
Bitch is what he was saying. Yeah.
He's we're gonna fucking murder all. We're gonna cut all your fucking throats. So, yeah. Meg. Earlier. So this morning, Santa was just like sending out all kinds of porn. Santa was like, porn this, porn that, titties.
Huh? That was spam.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I appreciate.
Are you saying I shouldn't have signed up?
No, you should have. You should have.
Oh,
if you
cool.
if you love Milky Whites, then oh boy, did Santa give you some links.
Man.
But
I never thought I'd be so into elf porn, but after seeing it,
Santa comes in the chat and he's all, "Hey guys, just a heads up, don't scan any QR codes." He just like saw a QR code and it was like, "Oh, let me see what that is." And I guess it took the information for his Discord and took control of it, but he got it back. But I will say it was pretty cool when Star Wars Santa was just all about boning for about 20-30 minutes. But all right, and then so we're on the base, everybody's going. So it feels like things kind of got in the position. Then we kind of end the episode with old man Luthen, and Luthen is he's got his ham radio out. He's talking to his friends across the galaxy. He's like, "Oh, what time is it over there?" And no, he's like listening for.
What was he saying about Andor? I had to play that twice, and I guess I was tired. I was like, I don't understand what he's saying.
Andor.
It just seemed like he started to have second thoughts about it. Like he started to sort of like he was just super nervous about the whole thing. That it was going to.
That's what I was wondering.
He thought that he should have pulled the plug on the mission, and he was forcing it. Basically,
yeah. Just having like and it's just like what Andor was saying to his team. Like it's he's afraid, but it's not like really fucking with his resolve like the guy with the tattoos who was clearly sort of almost trying to self-sabotage, it seemed like, to like because he was scared. And everybody's going through their own version of the night before, like jitters or whatever. And then so that's when we see Luthen's. But I gotta say, is the first articles said that Clea Markey was Luthen's wife, but then we see her name is Clea Markey and not. But it did seem like they kind of had more of a living together. I was your professor, but then we fell in love relationship. But I can't tell. I mean, because they don't ever like touch each other. Yeah. But was that, or is it just two people working late nights and she's a revolutionary, so they're just together? Like
I don't know. She was like kind of telling him what to do.
It seemed it seemed like the way that she was talking was like the way that like your girlfriend talks to you or something. You know what I mean? Like it kind of.
Yeah.
So I'm still kind of curious if that's what that is, or
Like
you know.
sit
I mean,
on
I
my
mean,
face.
You know, it all makes
yeah.
sense. It explains Luthen now that he has this complex that he goes out in the galaxy as this like super badass, but in reality, he comes home to his wife that's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're a piece of shit.
Get
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 off
off
your
your ham
fucking radio,
radio.
you loser.
Yeah,
Who
get
the
off your
fuck
ham
uses a
radio,
ham radio?
you fucking geek.
Yeah, go play with your fucking toys out in the shop there.
This
Yeah.
pussy ain't gonna eat itself. Yeah, pretty much.
No, he's overcompensating. It makes sense now. It's people said this episode didn't do anything. Now we know.
No, it kept it pretty real. No, yeah, but and then oh yeah, and then the other big part, little bullet point worth hitting is that Andor reveals that he's a mercenary to them.
Hmm.
And
I'm like, why did you say anything?
Well, I have to say on that part.
Yeah.
Next episode, it needs to pay off, or it was a waste of time.
That he said that?
If it just that he's a mercenary because Luthen hires him because he's the one who needs to die. If anybody's going to die, it's going to be the guy they rented. That's what Luthen basically says. We rented this guy to die. And so I kind of think that there's something in the mission. That's why we don't know what the two women are doing. And it's going to put Andor, I think, in the shit position. But thankfully, he's got space hero swagger and will somehow live. But it does seem like he's going to get put into the precarious position. And then, so I'm going to throw it out there. Maybe he gets, maybe this is what lands him in that Imperial prison. Maybe he gets captured in this, but at the same time, it does seem like if you went and stole the Imperial payroll into that, they would fucking kill you. So I'm not so sure.
Like kill your guts.
Right. But
well, I'm trying to figure out how the Mon Mothma, Cassian Andor storylines are eventually going to intersect. I'm trying to figure out where do those stories link up, because it's obviously they're very disparate stories. They have obviously Luthen is somewhere in there, but at some point they can't be too. It's not an A story, B story. Eventually, it's going to have to kind of all funnel back into the same story. So whoever she's contacting, trying to bring into the fold, has to somehow come into with whatever happens to Cassian, and that has to all kind of link up, I'm guessing.
Well, Meg just solved the mystery about who's fucking the goat. One of them's the goat boy, played by Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
And because Andor feels like it exists. Was Shia LaBeouf a goat boy in the Chronicles of Narnia? I can't even remember. I feel like he was, but let's just say he was. Let's just say that motherfucker was,
Why
now
not?
he kills dogs. So whatever. But so, yeah, and without Vel being Mon Mothma's daughter, and that theory being shattered with this, unless she has two daughters, which I don't, but it makes it even weirder that Vel goes to Mon Mothma's house. So I gotta say, I think that's going to, if that's what's going to happen, I think Mon Mothma has to leave, has to have her life broken in this series. Like it's just all there. It's all there to come falling down and her to end up living on Yavin in a temple, like, right?
I watched Rebels again this week because I totally forgot the whole like storyline with Mon Mothma in there. And honestly, this is the same timeline. Like literally, we're in the same year that happens in Rebels. And in Rebels, she does that whole thing where she comes out and basically says, because they already name dropped the whole thing on Gorman in the previous episodes. And her whole thing was she comes out and does a speech basically on the massacre of Gorman and how the Emperor is a dick, and I'm done with this shit. And that's why, like in Rebels, they're like trying to like get her safely, away so she doesn't get killed by the Emperor, because she basically comes out and says the Emperor is a dick, he's a fucking fascist, he killed all these people, and I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. I'm fucking out. And they come for her, and the rebels sneak her off. So
Okay.
we're right at that point. So at some point in this series, you're going to probably see that where she basically goes to the Senate and says, "This guy's an asshole," and then she just dips out.
And
And
then
obviously, it makes it easier for her to do that when her family is a bunch of pricks. So
yeah,
it made sense in this in that she left it all behind. But what did she really have to fucking leave?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was joking about the daughter though. The daughter's just being a normal teenage asshole though,
Hmm.
and I almost
Yeah.
feel like there has to be a little something extra given like the daughter has to like turn the mom in or something at some point, and it's like not looking good, but it doesn't go far enough or
Or
something.
she
I
gets
don't know.
paddled. You think?
Hey, don't make me even go there. Just don't make me go there. You're just trying to get me in trouble. Max is just
She's
trying
in
to get me.
college. Her
Okay,
daughter's in
yeah, she
college.
wants. Is she really? How do you know that? Where did you get that from? You're just
I
making
have
that
my
shit up, Max.
sources. I have my sources.
Yeah, that little revolutionary guy. He didn't see her when he was there. Acid True says, funny seeing Doc Brown as the guy Deidre is going against. He's in several of Ricky Gervais's shows, BBC dramas, and other Brit comedies. So, and then, what else was okay? And then Meg says, there will be no Sly Moore or anyone. It's a show that will do the Easter eggs, but no Easter Bunny. And then I've heard a lot of people already saying they skipped the dinner, but I don't think they did. Wouldn't make sense for Mon to leave her house afterwards. Yeah, when I thought they were going to do that, I was like, my mom was throwing a dinner at her house, but not at her house. So it kind of doesn't. I kind of just don't understand. I'd have to like watch the episodes again to understand exactly what the fuck their schedule is, because they didn't remind us in this episode what they were actually doing, and there was no follow-up where like, oh, that Sly Moore sure is a bald ass bitch. Like they didn't
I was
do
waiting
anything like
for.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
they didn't.
that's. Didn't she leave during dinner? I'm trying to remember. She left, right? During the evening?
Yeah. I want to see the after party for that. I want to see when they're all like all shit faced and like Sly Moore's doing karaoke.
And Coke.
Her and
This is
Masameda hook up, then it's awkward the next day and they show up to work and have to look each other in the eye and they're like
makes us that the dinner is coming up. They just pop to the store to get a bottle of wine and fill up on petrol, maybe grab a milkshake. So was that not post dinner? That was them. They're still going to a dinner. Because when he said to take the expressway, I took it that he was saying take the expressway because I want to get out of the car away from this bitch. Like that's what I thought the husband was saying.
Well, yeah, and she took her earrings off. You don't do
Yeah.
that when you're going to. You do that when you're coming from.
Yeah, she's gonna kick his ass.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Could it have been Roadhead? Does Mon Mothma maybe like to give Roadhead, and the earrings are a hindrance? No? Okay. Then I'm gonna go with what you said.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of earrings?
I don't know.
I
Like
mean, if they're studs, they're not getting
kyber crystals.
I mean, kyber crystals.
Clip on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. So next week though is going to be the action episode, and I think everybody's going to be happy.
Yeah, everybody's going to
and if
shit.
But Max makes us. But isn't there a dinner in the trailer? It did seem like we saw her in that outfit, like in a room. Yeah, it did. So hopefully,
there's a dinner party.
Yeah, so maybe they went out to something. Maybe they're going back home, and then that's when like the guests will then arrive. You know what I mean? Because they're socialites, right? I mean, so maybe they went out to the fucking Mon Calamari opera or some bullshit for all we know, and now it's home to dinner or something weird. So hopefully though, because I did want, yeah. I mean, I want to see like what happens at the dinner. I mean, that's if they don't do the dinner, that's gonna kind of. I mean, everybody's talking about this dinner.
Yeah,
everybody's been pretty excited about this fucking dinner because I want to see Sly Moore fucking eat hors d'oeuvres and play footsies into the table. Like they're gonna do that trope, right? Where they play footsies into the table, and then
do you think she's gonna be wearing the same outfit that she's always wears?
But he thinks it's Sly Moore, but it's not. It's Orn Frita.
Oh, come on.
But you know what? He's not even mad. He's like, you know what? That's life. Life has a lot of surprises, and I'm happy. My wife might be leading a rebellion behind my back. I don't know. I don't know that, but I'm into all of it. Because girls just want to have fun. He says that like 10 times in the show now, in his own way. In his own way. So, yeah. So Fry says, I'm trying to see Slymore busted open. when I first read that, I was imagining Slymore taking the bus and then actually getting off the bus at Mon Mothma's place. But yeah, I mean, I actually, when I swear, when I watched the episode, I actually liked that the show was very involved now, though, that we were seeing like all the characters in the camps and learning the stuff about everybody and what was going on back on Ferrix. And yeah, I thought it was, for an episode that sounds like everybody's sort of like bummed that didn't have more action and stuff like that. Like Jedi Mike just gave it a 9 out of 10 though. So Jedi Mike, he really worked for him. But
he knows what's up.
Yeah, Jedi Mike knows what's up.
Yeah.
I just saw you in the Discord saying 9 out of 10. But and then now you're talking about Cuban booty. Jedi Mike just gets around. He's just had conversations about everything everywhere. He's kind of like Mon Mothma's husband. You know what I mean? Just living his best Star Wars life. Look at him. Look at him go. But no. Anyways, though, it was like, yeah, super involved. And then if next week's episode is flat, then I would say then this episode has problems. But so far, after the first 4 episodes, it's gained enough goodwill with me that I think what it's doing is the smart stuff. Yeah. And it's the middle act of it. I mean, all of these are like little 3-parters. It's the middle act of the 3-parter.
So were you bored? Because you seem to kind of like be parsing your stuff like, well, it'll pay off. And
was I bored?
Like, yeah, you
no, I
like
wasn't
you're
bored.
kind of unconvinced on the episode. Like, well, it'll get better.
No, I'm just seeing what everybody's saying. Like what Meg and Max were both bored. I found it to have I think more intrigue than them. But we'll see. And then, is that out of 5? Star Wars 95? Star Wars 95 says I gave it a 3.5. I was a bit upset we didn't have the dinner scene. Left me a bit hungry for more, if you know what I mean.
Ooh.
I don't know. Hey, but yeah. I mean, I do hope that the dinner scene comes next episode. Like I do hope it's still in there. It would be a shame if it was cut.
Yeah. Why did you say anything?
Yeah, I kept
You're not gonna
talking
show
about
it.
I mean, it's
Gilroy's. You're not getting the fucking dinner scene, all right? I'm Tony Gilroy. Do what I want.
It would. I mean, hey, I was pretty convinced that Vel Sartha was the daughter, because that I still think is probably the better way to go. But if you do have this attack on a base juxtaposed, like I said, with the people at the dinner next episode, that's going to be pretty fucking cool. I mean, that has a little bit of a Godfather kind of thing to it too, to some extent, where you know what I mean, you have the opulence and then everybody being massacred over here as the order is carried out. So I kind of think that that kind of might be what we see, and it would be pretty fucking Godfather rad to have like Mon Mothma at this dinner party with fucking, Sly Moore and all those assholes are in there fitting their faces. Meanwhile, she's technically raiding the fucking Imperial payroll on for that whole area. And one other thing that I think could be overlooked too is that they're talking about making that a bigger airfield. I think they said something like that. They want to expand that base. So that means it's strategically important place. But after this attack comes, they may think twice, because if there's enough dissent and insurgency that's unforeseen that they can't read, they may go like, we'll do it over here instead, which at the end of the day doesn't really help in terms of good. It just moves the evil, I guess, somewhere else.
Yeah.
But
moves it.
Well, they're actually rating the thing not for the payroll, but there's actually a compromising photos of Emperor Palpatine that they're trying to get. Him and Sly Moore together.
He's a little bit older. Sometimes he forgets to put on the under part of his robes. He just puts on the outer part and his Luthen wig that he puts on. Palpatine should get a little curly Luthen wig, don't you think? He'd be like,
Be a dashing man, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Tim Matthews says, I think it would be cool if the dinner is intercut with the heist. Mothma's tense battle of words with Sly Moore alongside Andor's fight with the Imps will be intense as fuck. Yeah, I could definitely see it going that way. I mean, I do think it is a little bit weird to like talk about this thing that's going to happen, and then they're just like out driving around with the driver coming from somewhere. Like it was confusing. So if the dinner does come, I don't blame anybody for being like, well, we didn't get the dinner, because I definitely think that that's a pretty easy thing to mistake. But if it's all essentially, you know what though, it's not the same night though, because we know that that's day 2. When that's fucking day 2.
She's wearing the same outfit, isn't she?
She said the dinner party was that night in that episode where she sees the seating chart. So if there's been more than and that's why I think the dinner party's already happened, because I think we're more than one day into this.
That's stupid.
Well, what you have to realize is Coruscant's a bigger planet, so it takes longer for it to rotate. Therefore, each rotation is actually longer. And on Coruscant, they wear their clothes longer, and they get very stinky and smelly because they wear their same clothes for about 72 hours compared to the other planet.
Yeah, we're not true
I don't know.
fans.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this is working right now. I'm gonna watch it again when I wake up, though. I'm gonna go to bed now, and then I'm gonna go wake up and watch it again, and then maybe all of the answers will be there. Maybe Star Wars Meg will message me and go, "You idiot! Here's how time works." It could happen. Or you know what? Meg won't even message me. I'll probably wake up and she'll have a video that tells me, "Jason, this is how time works." And then I will understand. So, I agree with Jason from a. Do you mean science fiction point of view?
San Francisco
point of view, yeah, clearly.
Ding ding. It's a San Francisco treat. I miss living in San Francisco. It's probably like the best place I ever lived.
Did you eat rice-a-roni when you lived there?
Fuck no. No,
why did you say that?
I ate pizza with artichoke on it because it was a. But
why did you say?
I was fucking living it up like a bitch. It was good though.
So you're faking it.
Yeah. Oh, poor Arya. Spoil it for me. She says, was Moss or Sly there, or even the Royal Guards? Oh,
yes.
No. ET shows up to the dinner party.
No dinner at all. Okay. I told her no dinner at all. Should I lie and say it was a luncheon? And Darth Vader was there.
Breakfast. It was breakfast.
They look like brunching kind of people, don't they?
Yeah.
Like Perrin, definitely. He's going to fucking brunch.
I'm pretty sure Mon Mothma goes bottomless mimosas and then goes bottomless mimosas, if you know what I mean. She seems like she would be that kind of drunk.
I would too if I was married to that D-bag. I mean, right? I mean, shit.
There has to be that moment where we understand where they had common ground. And it has to be mimosas. I mean, that's all I could think of. You know what I mean? Like where? What? I mean, they made that fucking little asshole eating the cereal. You know, being a little bit.
That did happen.
Hey, that would be a good show. That should be a daily show every day.
We did have a show. It was a brunch.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was called Mimosas with Max Ando and Void Mate.
How come I didn't ever get invited to Mimosas?
Because we didn't know each other then.
No excuse.
So
personally slighted.
I might be okay with this after Meg explains to me how time works tomorrow. Then I might understand.
She gonna do a whole Doc Brown thing.
Maybe.
Or timeline.
I still don't understand Back to the Future Part 2. That's why it's my favorite
Nobody
movie
does.
and why I respect it so much, because
Hmm.
it doesn't make sense to me. No. What is it? Thanks a lot, San Francisco. You ruined pizza at Laugh Out Loud. It's pretty good, man. I'm not even kidding.
It's not actually pizza.
I only like it in San Francisco though. I had it in Los Angeles. Wasn't so good. Mace killing Django was really an executed action scene as I've seen. Oh, come on. Luthen is the blonde rebel leader's father. Thoughts, Ismo? I mean, if she's related to anybody right now, though, I don't.
That's Sly. Oh, Slymore is her mother.
Oh, Slymore. No. Her name, her last name is different. So I'm just gonna go with her being an independent rebel contractor. You know, she just got in the cause for her own reasons that we haven't learned yet, but we will. It's gonna turn out something like the Empire took away bottomless mimosas from her planet, and she just couldn't fucking take it, you know. And then they banned hacky sack, and she was like, "That's fucking it.
It's gone too far.
They gone too fucking far," you know. And then that one guy, you know, the other guy, the one who doesn't have the tattoos, he was like, they won't make any more Police Academy movies, and I wanted to be Hightower in one of them. I wanted to be Hightower in the Police Academy remake, and
you know, you'll probably get this reference. You know who I can't help but thinking of when I see that dude? Chocolate Mousse from Top Secret.
oh wow, I haven't thought about that in a long time. Yeah, but
Is this deja vu? Have we not met before?
Okay.
I love that movie.
Come on. I mean, we agree, Garth. Michael J. Fox is kind of hot as his daughter. It's very confusing when you're like, you know what? And then you start to see, wow, Michael J. Fox really isn't a bad looking person. Then you start going, who am I? And you know, it's an exploration, you know, and you're like, oh, that little Republican, let's give it to him hard. Roland says, $4.99. Thank you, Roland. A couple bucks for working, man. I really hope we see the dinner next episode contrasted with the heist. After that, it needs to pick up the second half. Yeah, I mean, I think that we're gonna go into the prison, and then I think we may see Scarif. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Scarif, based off of those set pics that we had of that beachfront town kind of place. And Bespin had some pictures that showed like the shore trooper guys, or whatever they're called, there, and we've only seen them really. So it does track with it going that way.
Well, now I wonder, since we technically already saw the ghost in this episode, and since we know that Mon Mothma ends up with Hera and all of them, and they're doing the live action Ahsoka, is there a possibility that our first introduction to the Rebels cast is going to be in this show, where you're going to see Mon Mothma? You're going to see a live action version of Mon Mothma meeting up with them, if only in passing.
I'm going to say,
you don't think so? I guess not.
I think when you go around saying just get over the fucking cameos, just fucking leave me alone about the cameo bullshit, though, and then you put the Star Wars Rebels in it. I mean, it's going to be like the king of that very concept, but it would actually make sense and actually fit and actually be the appropriate way. But also that ship, though, just to be clear, isn't the Ghost, because the Ghost is out doing Ghost stuff at the time, so we know it's.
Like
concurrently.
Do we know it's not the Ghost, or we just assume it's not the Ghost?
For Halloween, of course.
Well, the Ghost is being used right now at this very time in Star Wars Rebels. So what would it be doing in a junkyard?
They'd be undercover on
doing Ghost.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
it would be a stretch. Don't get me wrong.
And the paint doesn't match. But what I would say is that, but
I mean, if they're gonna go there, I mean, because they kind of already are.
Did you never notice in those scenes? You know how Andor takes that little ship from the yard?
Mm-hmm.
There's a Y-wing there,
and
then when you see that ship, it has the Y-wing engines, and then when you see the Y-wing later on, it doesn't have the engines. So they actually took the engines from the Y-wing to modify the ship that Andor takes on when he goes to kill the guys. When he kills the guys looking for his sister. So it's like kind of like thought that was a cool little detail. But all right, it looks like Max and thank you, Roland, for the super chat.
I just hurt myself.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. Is that you, Max?
No.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about? What are you
I thought you were.
about?
I thought you were going like 9 Inch Nails, Johnny Cash on us all of a sudden.
Oh, goth. Yeah.
My daughter got detention for punching a kid, and she had to walk a line in all during recess. She has to walk like a square line. That's like a square. Like that's what she has to do for it. And so all day I was playing I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash. Like we were everywhere we were driving. I was playing Walk the Line. I was trying to get her to sing it while she was there yesterday. I played it for her yesterday. I'm like, this is your song, Penny. This is your song now. Like this is like your Chain Gang song. She didn't appreciate it.
I'm surprised you didn't go the throwing copper route and do the live
White Lines
band live.
No, live.
Yeah, the band live did a cover of Walk the Line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I thought that's where you're going with that.
No. I just took it back to the
Johnny Cash,
the Cash, and I used it as a segue of like, you know, this is country music, Penny. Does it sound like the country music that your grandpa listens to? No, because it's not country music. It's pop for racist people. That's what I thought right there. That's what that shit is. It's just pop for racists, you know. But anyways, thanks for staying up with me, guys. I hope it was worth it for you.
It was.
Next week will be better though. Next week there'll be a lot of action.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. I want action.
Max needs action.
I want action.
Dear Diego Luna, Max,
please
needs
give
action.
me action.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if my prayers are answered.
And so I will be back on tomorrow. If either of you wake up tomorrow and have more thoughts and are free, you're welcome to come hang out with me and Rob when we review the show tomorrow. But I'm gonna wake up in the morning, watch it again.
Him Rob. Sorry.
No. Well, the other Rob.
Rob. Yeah. The less fashionable Rob.
Well, I don't know. You kind of got the red thing going on here, so.
Well, no, I was talking about the other. I was talking about Sketchcraft Rob. Yeah,
real Rob is real Rob is less fashionable than fake Rob. Wait. One last comment from Roland. He says, "I wish we got more Cyril. I find him, Deidre, and Luthen the most interesting, but I really do like Cassian. Yeah, the thing with Cassian so far is just that." We're seeing we're seeing a lot of the stuff from Cassian's perspective and the stuff that he's in, but it's sort of a weird. I don't know if it's a weird choice, but it's an interesting choice because we don't see everything from Cassian's perspective. But if he's there, it's like from his perspective almost entirely, like the whole camp, the rebel stuff especially, because we're seeing his indoctrination. I think. So I think that's why. I think it'll ultimately be the right narrative choice. But right now, it feels like Cassian's taking a back seat in his own show. But he's really not. He's just about to become the most important person in the whole thing. Like basically, when you really look at the Rebel Alliance as it goes, up until Luke Skywalker, Cassian kind of is the most important person. When you get down to it, he's the guy who ends up leading to everything that leads to the Death Star. Without the guy, everything culminates up to that point with what he actually pulls off, which is getting those plans so little fucking baby Luke Skywalker could T-ball that shit in the hole at the end, you know? I mean, but Cassian and Jyn Erso kind of fucking died for it. So he could just like turn off the targeting computer and be like, oh, let go, and listen to, you know, Larry in his headset of his mind. So, but anyways, we'll be back tomorrow morning, or no, tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. I'm sleeping in. Fuck that shit. And at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Well, sleepy bitch Rob right now. He's probably awake too. He's probably like awake, just like, Oh, I'm just drawn.
We
Oh,
should
yeah,
prank
what's the
call him.
number?
Should
we just
put
start
his
calling him
number-
right now?
Put his number in the chat. And
Just put it.
send
Okay,
everybody-
here we go.
Why is my throat blow up at like 3 in the morning?
555. What was it? Hot draw. That's his number. 555 hot draw. That's so stupid. All right, everyone. Thanks for guys for hanging out with me. Thanks for staying up, Max, even though I know you're super sleepy. Everybody,
get the fuck out of my house.
It's time.
God, that's rude.
It's time. Well, it is what it is. And I was gonna play the jingle about guess who's coming to dinner from Mon Mothma, but fucking nobody apparently. So put that shit away for now. But we'll be back tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Thank you, and hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, sucks to be you. Max says fuck off and die.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go. It's not about spaceships.